All right, so yes, main channel functions are mute and unmute, turn up the volume, use your ears to mix the levels of how they balance well together. If you want to adjust anything on a particular channel, say the piano, you go and hit select of that channel. And then you can actually work on your EQ if you need to adjust something. Only adjust something if you really need it, if you hear that it needs it. You don't need, just because the EQ is there doesn't always mean that you have to use it. Now it's there, and typically you do have to use it a little bit on every channel. But if you want to look at the EQ, hit view, and you can hit view of any of these settings that you want, and that's what comes up over on the screen. And so you'll see what I have on the screen is I have the low cut filter on, and that you can turn it on a couple different ways. This is the easiest way right here. If I turn it off and on, it's off, on, off, on. That's actually going to cut out some of these lower frequencies that I just don't want going into that microphone. I'm not going to adjust it with this here, and you can see I can move it. So I'm going to start cutting it off about there. I could probably cut it off a little more, but I'll leave it there. And then if you need to adjust anything, let's say you can, and that's picking up my voice on the piano mic there all the way on the stage, and you can see this gives you an idea of what frequencies are coming in. If you need to adjust it, if you need to bring down, let's say the mid-range or something, get used to using this section here instead of these, because it's harder, it's not as fast to use these. So get used to using this. If I want to adjust, let's say the low mid, that's band 2. You can see as I press the different buttons over on the left where you can't see my hand, it's selecting which one. And then I can select, I'm going to use the frequency knob. I can move it. I could maybe bring down this 400 hertz right there. So I've put it where I want to go, and now I'm going to adjust the gain knob, bring that down. You'll see it's gray, that means it's not on. So I'm going to turn it on. Hit equalizer right there, and that turns it on. Now it's yellow. And so I could bring it way down here if I want to. If you're having trouble listening and hearing what frequency you want to bring down, what I'd recommend is bring it down a bit, so it's an audible change, and then take your frequency knob and sweep it around, and as they're playing, listen for it and see and hear what frequencies you're affecting, and see it too, until you get to that area that you don't like, and then make your adjustment. You might not want to cut it that much, so I'm going to bring the gain back. If you're cutting too wide, if too many frequencies, you can adjust how wide this thing is by using the Q knob, and that stands for bandwidth. And so I could actually, this is great for pinpointing a really bad frequency that's feeding back. So if I was getting feedback right there, I could get a really sharp bandwidth, and then I could really, I could boost it. Typically you want to cut instead of boost unless you really need to boost. You could bring out that right there. And then same thing for low, mid, and then I'm going to bring it back up because I don't want to make those change. High. This is actually a high cut, or excuse me, a high shelf. I can change that. Well, I can change that here. If I want to, I'm going to press that button. You can see it does different types of EQ bands. Shelf, high cut, so it's kind of like the low cut, but on the other end. Press it again. Parametric EQ. Press it again. VEQ. Honestly, I don't really know what that is, or why it's different than the parametric, but yep, so cool. I'm going to bring that back up, so I don't want to make that change.